Welcome to Big Business with Sarah, the show for experienced entrepreneurs who want to grow their impact and income through value-based outputs. Are you a freelancer or a small business owner with 10 to 20 years of work experience? And is it finally time for you to reap the fruits of your labor and to recreate the business you will love? My name is Sarah Berkenkamp, and I'm helping you every Thursday to take your dream business closer to reality. Do not forget to subscribe to my show and catch every episode. Welcome to episode 18 of Big Business with Sarah, and I'm very much looking forward to this episode. It's going to talk about start selling through social media. And I just said it's going to talk about I am going to talk about that. And really selling through social media, I think this is the ultimate guide for you. And I'm very happy to say that my Big Business Mastermind has started. You can still step in, no worries, you haven't missed a lot of very, very important things. Only a kickoff call, which we can still do, and you can always look back on the recording. But I'm so excited with this group of people that stepped in and are very much looking forward in making their business work for them. So let's start. I have always been active on social media ever since it exists. I think in the Netherlands we had this social media platform. It's called Hives, and CU2 was actually before that. And then I went into MySpace. And I think it was about the same time when LinkedIn and Facebook popped up. Facebook I'm not using as much anymore, but LinkedIn I've been using since the beginning of my career, or even when I was a student. And I was just adding everyone to my LinkedIn, and which resulted in quite organically I think it was in total now it's 16 years time. It has resulted in 2,300 connections, and those are all connections, people that I really know and I've learned to get to know through the years. And then of course there's Twitter. I also have about 2,000 followers there. Instagram, I just recently really worked on that. And if you want to have fun and really enjoy someone struggling on a social medium, you should check out my profile on TikTok. I love trying this. And I feel very, very old with my 36 years, and I'm between all those lovely 20 years old year olds, and I'm just playing with it. I'm just having fun. And when I was on those social mediums, I was always kind of sharing my opinions, sharing a new job title, maybe sharing some accomplishments here or there, or maybe an article about feminism or about, I don't know, anything. And I would just share my opinion. And that was that. So I was building, without actually really knowing, I was building a niche authority. And that means that I am presenting myself in a certain way in which I'm giving people confidence that, for instance, if they want to work with me, that I know exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, it was also driving a lot of people away, but I'm fine with that. If I'm helping other people with that, I am not worried at all. But it has been since last year that I've really learned more about social media techniques, how to sell on social media, and now I want to pass this knowledge on to you. So I created 5 steps today. I just want to talk to you about them. And if you're really ready and willing to work on social media, if you would ask me before we start, is it really necessary to have social media to grow your business? I think in the end, yes, you do, but there are multiple ways in how to work on that. And I think also these 5 steps will help you to work on that, how to create that social media that really works for you. So the first step is to understand what social media really is. To me, and I think to many business owners, social media could be a great lead generator. So this is a way to grow your audience, to share your knowledge, maybe to show everything that you're talking about. Maybe you're going to dinner every evening and people love to see it. And maybe you're making fun videos when you're dancing, or maybe you're just really good in trading and you're sharing all your wins and everything that you're making passively. I don't know. This is a way to promote your idea on social media and your programs. But what's also very interesting is that you can sell and talk to people in your DMs. So one thing that I'm doing is when people are following me or when they're liking something of me, I always would like to get to know them. Why is that? Because they show an interest. They are active on my profile and I want to get to know them and see if I can help them in one way or another. So that's really what social media is about. Also, really think about, that social media is a social medium. So you should be social. So actually talking to people in the DMs and responding to people who are commenting on your posts, whatever, that's something that what the social medium is about. So really also understand that, and that's also probably, you don't have to hack the algorithm. No, you just have to be have to understand what social media is for. So I believe it's really a lead generation, generator, and so that's the first step. The second step, and I think that is something that should be additional to your social media strategy, is to have an email list. This is a list of your own contacts. You can segment them in different kinds of clients lists. Maybe you have a group of clients that you're still not created an offer for, but put them in a separate list, in a separate segment. There are all these ebook programs that can help you with this. I am using ConvertKit, for instance, but I've worked with different organizations as an interim manager, and I've worked with ConvertKit and all these different kinds of, I forgot the other email program that I've worked with, but they're all kind of working the same. Currently, I'm using ConvertKit just because I was curious and it wasn't the program that I was using. But it might be that I'm changing operators very soon again. I'm not sure yet. So these are your own contacts, and you can reach really your people directly. So for instance, if a social medium, I don't know, I'm just saying something, maybe Twitter is deciding, I'm just going to follow my own rules. I'm going to do whatever I want. There is still that opportunity of reaching your people directly through your mailing list. So having that as a backup or sending out emails regularly is really going to help you connect to your warm leads or the people that really like to hear from you. So next to your social media strategy, I would really have an email list as well. And so the third step is, how do you start? So for instance, how do you start on making that social media strategy? I would strongly recommend you to think about what you want to offer to your clients or to your potential clients. What is your product suite? What can you offer? What can you sell? What can you help them with? Maybe you are a presenter. Okay, so make it visible, make it possible for potential clients to contact you. So have a great link in bio and with maybe a link tree. Or maybe you can make, so for instance, I don't have a link tree. I do have a LinkedIn tree, by the way, on my personal Instagram page. But you can, what I created, or what my virtual assistant actually created for me, is a separate page on WordPress, and that's just my Instagram link in bio. So you can create something like that, so that if people really like your post, you can get them towards your link in bio and get them to buy from you, because we're talking about selling through social media, right? So really before you're starting with your strategy, think about maybe you have a low tier, high tier, medium tier offer, and really thinking about, okay, so what kind of content do I need to make for this offer? And then start from there. And then what you can also do is create a funnel. And if you're thinking, oh, funnel, that sounds very, very difficult, you can also do this handmade. So for instance, if somebody is liking your post about pricing, then you can say, you know what, in the DMs, hey, I saw that you liked my post. How are you? Can you tell me something about yourself? And then send them the podcast episode that you created about pricing. If they like it, you can also send them the free download that you've created. And that free download might be, for instance, a PDF going towards your low tier offer. Then they're going to buy your low tier offer, and then you can send them another email saying, hey, you know what, maybe your medium tier offer is also. So, it doesn't have to be too complicated. You can automate all of this. I am doing most of these funnels currently handmade, but I'm working on automating it. But, really creating that funnel and having people and serving people, because selling, it's not so much about, sleazy salesmen, etc., but you're actually helping people. You're helping them create the business of their dreams, creating a fit body, creating beautiful photographs of you, creating a happy life. I don't know what you are, exactly what it is that you do, but in a way, selling is always serving. So you're helping your people. All right. So the first step I want you to take is to think about batching your content. So for instance, this podcast that you're listening to, I am recording 4 podcasts in the same day. This works perfectly for me because I'm collecting all client questions and all different kinds of questions, potential client questions every week, every day, actually. And then I'm creating a podcast episode about it so I can answer their questions and really be a little bit more elaborate on that. And it's also helping other and new people. So for me, it's really a win-win, and it's also for my clients, obviously. So batching your content really gives you an opportunity to take your time, to not be in panic every day. Oh, what should I post? What should I not post? So for instance, this week, on my social media, it's all going to be about, my posts are all going to be about this episode. I want people to hear this episode. So I'm creating different kinds of content, different kinds of videos, little pictures, maybe a personal story about selling through social media. I'm not really sure about that yet, but it will always come to me. And then actually plan those in a planning tool, or just really have those texts ready. Create maybe some lovely graphics in Canva. I don't know how you're doing it, but batching your content is really going to help you make an easier business life. And I'm saying it again, always connect with the people that are liking your post. And then the 5th part that I want to talk to you about, and this is something that I always really love, and that my coaches always, encourage me to do, is what would the blah blah business owner show up as. So for instance, maybe you want to be some sort of business owner who makes a lot of money. That's possible. Or maybe you want to be someone with a great authority, or someone you look up to. How would that person show up as online? And if you're visualizing that, so please don't make yourself too small on social media. Sometimes I'm seeing content, I'm like, why are you hiding? Where is the light? Where is your enthusiasm? Are you really confident in presenting your offer? And I know that this can be very hard, but actually keeping this in mind, thinking big, what would this and this business owner show up as, would probably help you make that great content. I have a free guide for you today and it's called the Mailing Guide. You can download it for free, and this can also help you create that email list that I was talking about previously. And before I'm going to talk about the quotes that I want to share with you today, I want to summarize the start selling through social media steps that you can take. So the first one is understanding that social media is a lead generator. The second one, having your email list as a backup. The third one is thinking about your offer first before creating that strategy. The fourth one is batching your content. And the fifth one is thinking big. What would business owner show up as? And you can still get into my mastermind of the big business. You will be joined by 9 other people who are really ready to create their dream business. And I am ending this with a quote from Elaine Welteroth. And she's saying, when the world tells you to shrink, expand. Have a great day, and thank you so much for listening.